Hi everyone, it's Sonia. So there's so much I want to talk about movement and why a single exercise isn't going to just rehab you. First of all, you have to do the movement or the exercise with the correct muscle, otherwise it's pointless. And so if you're quad dominant and you're trying to do a specific exercise that should be doing your butt and you're working your quad, you could be looking like you're doing the right exercise and it's not actually really servicing you the correct way. Also, just because you have an injury somewhere doesn't mean that's where it's coming from, and then how is the rest of the body all moving together? So really basic, when you work out at a gym, you work biceps, triceps, you work muscles that are pretty much up and down along your body. Yes, that does give you strength. Yes, that gives you a really great appearance, although that's not how we move. We are rotational moving beings. We have muscles that connect here, wrap around. Now, going into anatomy, it's really cool. Usually it's better, I think, to teach people one-on-one. That's why I strictly work one-on-one with people, because it's so complicated. The layers of muscles and they're called Anatomy Trains. So the book I'm using is Anatomy Trains. I'm not affiliated or anything. This is my take on it. I could be wrong. There's kind of some ways that you have to say something is true now, but it's not true down the line. So there's a lot of confusion in the world, and I hear people saying movement, but what they don't have is stabilization. If you have too much movement because you have too much strength, that can bite your joints in the butt. And this is what I keep seeing, is that people are active and they're hurting, and then they rest, and then they don't do the exercises the right way, and then they come back to moving with the same exact muscles and nothing changes, and then they keep pushing through it because no pain, no gain, and then they end up going to PT or a massage therapist, and then they get referred to me, and it's hard to explain what I do because I just look at your biomechanics and try to change it. So this book is amazing just to show you beyond anatomy of how we think about it. So this is the back line of the body. See how if you were to look at some of those muscles, this is pretty basic stuff that we can see. Here's the front line of the body. Now these are more around the spine, right? If you were to look at this, here's the side body. Then we start to get more complicated. Now this isn't necessarily muscles, although it is. It's how everything is connected around. Now I always talk about walking because as much as I can train you in here, if you're going out and you're walking funny and driving funny and doing all these other things, I want to be realistically where you are in order to figure out how to teach you how to rehab yourself. I can't give you one exercise that's going to heal you. No one should give you one exercise to heal you. And a lot of times I hear of these words functional, but to me they don't make sense, because how you lift the weight and the pull and gravity all affect what muscles you use and the rotation. Once you start to get too strong and have too much strength, it takes away some of the stability. While Pilates is really great for stability, it actually limits your functionality of the body. And so people can use the right words and actually physically not be doing what actually makes sense. And it took me a while, I'm guilty of it. But here is just, look at that top one. You see how there's a deeper line and then a more superficial line of the back body and then the front body. Now we start to apply this. Why is your shoulder hurting? Why is your lower back hurting? Most people with lower back pain have way too overactive lower back. Stop doing lower back strengthening things. You're probably not using your butt, you're probably overusing your hamstring, and you probably don't have the right rotation when you walk. How many steps are you taking? How much time do you walk? Are you sitting a lot? All of these things really matter, and they don't matter until they matter. And you know where to find me if you need to find someone to talk to about why this stuff matters. Then we start to get even deeper here. So I don't think just doing basic exercises all the time, the same way without anyone watching you, is necessarily a good idea. I can see these things in other people, and inside I'm a disaster. When I have someone watch me, they're shocked that I'm an instructor, I think, because it's so hard to feel. I can't give you advice online of what your issue is, because really, if I don't see what your body's doing, I'm not like a mind reader. I'm not a psychic. I can see your body and then explain to you what's happening. But this is what movement means to me. Movement is not only alignment and stability, but some sort of organization through movement, that you can't just move naturally and think we're going to move well. It's very rare I see the right organization from the inside of your core out, and people don't even know what the core is half the time. I ask them what their goals are and they say, I want a strong core. Well, what does that mean? They want fitness. Well, what does that mean? Some people want to do more power. Some people care about doing more stretch and yoga. That, like, if you want to rehab your injury, all of these things are very different. And I'm starting to notice that exercise is just part of the emotional eating cycle. So when you make your choice of what you want and then you work towards it, then that makes more value to you. If you start to get injured, then you need to find someone to watch your biomechanics to help you. So I hope this helps some people, just letting some people know, so that when they come in, they can understand why I move the way I do and look at the stabilization and then have people move more. But this is some fascinating stuff that I wanted to share.